I would have thought they would have rooted for ends, but there was a few guys trying. They did a good job, but it's basically a standoff, as the word implies. It's basically a 1 versus 1 scenario. It's pure skill. It's pure who's gonna win the duels with. 1 versus 1 duels, going up against each other with a set weapon. You play first to 11, I believe, when you're playing, and then it's all about the skill, all about going crazy, all about going ham.
Going ham. What would that mean exactly for the viewer at home, Christine? Ham.
Well, that's hard as a...
Oh, okay,
I mean,
there's the censor. That's the one I was looking for. No, but in all seriousness, it is fun to see these guys kind of rally around behind one another and play one-on-ones. You know, it's not an environment that we're used to seeing. It's not like a normal tournament environment at all.
Let's not forget they're also playing for a prize, right? They're playing, first of all, to win and don't lose the dignity, but second of all, there's $20,000 on the line, and I don't know about you, Trace, but I could use $20,000 on my bank account.
Oh, no, nice. I was looking for my dignity, so... my dignity. Yeah. Anyway, still ready. Actually, no, we are ready to get into the game. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to keep my dignity in my pocket where it belongs, and we're going to jump into this blast standoff right here in Moscow right now.
Yeah, right now. Right now.
Right here and now.
Can you believe it? Na'Vi versus Nip in a show match here, Mohan, the standoff. And, I mean, listen, let's throw the tactics out the window. Get the textbooks out the door. Burn them to the ground. This is aim. This is skill. This is something that, I mean, Na'Vi have to win, right?
You would.
If they have one thing left, it's aim, right?
It's aim. It's flamey. It's flamey, and it's simple. And but it's res. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know,
Get Right's been Get Right 2.0 this tournament.
Yep.
It's Plopsky.
That's why I'm stoked. I want to see Plopsky with the chainsaw. Oh my God, we're into it. I said Plopsky, and here he is already with a point. So
popped into the server.
Let's not mess around. Remember, guys, the eliminations rack up from round to round, from weapon to weapon. You've got boxes falling from the sky to crush skulls. You got frag grenades. All of these walls you see with our fantastic sponsors. Yeah, you can shoot them. You can destroy them. You can surf. This is a playground. This is where you show me the style you bring to Counter-Strike. Hit me with the pizzazz.
Can I just unnecessarily spice this show matchup by reading a simple
Oh, he got
tweet?
boxed!
Oh my god.
After he got the kill! That's a first. That is a blast standoff first.
Oh wow, he gets, yeah, I know, we haven't actually seen that before.
Whoa. Oh, he did it again! Another one.
Okay, all right, well he's doing it faster this time, which is good, before he dies.
You know, you don't need the aim to hit it. Who needs headshots when you can just shoot out glass walls?
Don't tell me that's, okay. Who's going to be brave enough to pull off the first surf of the map is the big question for me.
I mean, the only player out of all the standoffs I can recall so far...
Okay, Plopsky plays this map in his spare time.
Yeah, the only player who's really gone for those surfs, I feel like, was Fallen. No, Forrest wants to.
11 minutes ago. Simple. Time to rethink everything and make the right decision.
That's a very deep tweet.
Nice playing the standoff. Maybe this could change it back, right? 20 grand?
Yeah. That's a nice collection of cash. Oh, no. Flamey's got the gull to stand tall up here. Shoot the boxes, Plopsky.
Well, everyone knows that when you 1v1 someone, that's what you do when you're tilted to win back some of the confidence. As you stand tall, you show your whole body. You're playing a significant disadvantage, and if you win, you humiliate the other player.
See, look, they're learning, Launders. They're adapting. Plopsky now realizes that he can just hide underneath the floor. And it's always fun because you can tell which teams act. I mean, this is available on the Steam Workshop, by the way.
Anyone can play it.
Anybody go ahead and play it. Go get it in the off chance you find yourself in a blast standoff match. But you can see them learn, these players, when the first time they spam one of these walls and it's destructible. They're kind of shocked.
Yeah. Have you played HE Glass before?
Yeah, it's like dodgeball.
Yeah, it's like dodgeball. You can break the glass to get someone to drop through. That's kind of what they were going for a little bit with the glass floors and the updated version. And I'm surprised we've got no surfing going on. They don't want to get too experimental with it. Instead, it's going to be just a pure duel. This time, both on the ground completely. It feels like Plopsky is finding ways to be strategical in a very, very simple map. Like he's always coming out of the blue here. Zeus is actually recording him maybe for his Instagram story.
See, Plopsky's treating this like, you know, this is his first event. He's looking at that 20 grand like, hell yeah. Signing bonus, real quick.
Yeah, that's true. That's a nice paycheck.
Yeah, that's like, look,
yeah,
he is all in on this.
Sweet.
You know, Flamey, Na'Vi laughing, taking videos. Everybody treated to it. And I feel like in this instance, you know, Plopsky stepping up against Flamey first, but who's the poor soul on Nip who's got to face off versus Simple? Who's going to have to take down Electronic?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's going to be Forest versus Simple opping, and then I think it's going to be Electronic and Rez if I had to make a prediction.
Ooh, timing, baby. Plopsky's watching his back as if he's behind him.
Oh, it's so awkward. So
That's
awkward.
6.
But the spray duel goes his way. Flame, you know what? Flamey's looking a little bit more and more like Edward every day. Did you see that?
A bit.
He's got some of the hair. Yeah. He slimmed it down.
Start some yoga, and he'll be right up there with
Yeah.
him. It's nice seeing Edward around. That's why it's always fun to do Russian events. See the Russian casting crew and the likes of all that. Now we're all tied up at 6. Remember, even if you don't get that seventh point to win this specific round, the kill count is accumulative.
It's a
across
crew
all.
battle.
Yeah. So it's like keeping it.
Take the earbuds out.
Plopsky.
That's it. Step up, walk away.
Yeah, just give him a chance.
Nice try, but yeah, 6 points is not bad. So either way, this is just a tight race.
So what's up? What's up next? Looks like Boomich might be putting in his earpiece.
Yeah, who does Boomich go? Who does Boomich take on? That's an interesting question. Can we get Kane in the mix? I mean, how weird do we want to get? The Boomich chance.
Sick to see the turnout for him. A great coincidence, of course, that his last event takes place here on.
Yeah, I guess
Scout
naturally IGLs.
Yep.
IGLs going head to head. That's cool.
Just can't believe it.
Thanks for everything. Oh, that's sweet.
It
That's
is.
nice to see.
Oh, did you those enlarged head signs, Mohan, have been defaced quite literally with unibrows and beards. I feel like Boomich is going to have real fun with this.
They're actually the two giggliest people on both teams. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch the interview Paula did with, or he did a little skit, like a little detective skit with Lecro at Face It Land.
Okay.
And Lecro can't hold it together. He's laughing no matter what Paula says, to the point that Paula Break's character starts laughing at everything too, and then just can't do the skit. It's like in grayscale, like it's meant to be so serious. You can find it on YouTube.
See, Paul is one of those guys who's actually really good at keeping character,
Yeah.
keeping things serious.
Yeah.
But then once things start going off the rails, oh, he derails with it.
He rails with it, yeah.
Come on, Boomich. Let's see what you got, bucko. I thought we were going to get maybe a... Ooh, Deagles.
Ooh, Deagles, okay.
Lecro on a Deagle? I mean, Boomich doesn't have a chance, right? Oh!
Okay, all right, yeah. That's good, getting to the flow of things. Okay, so Lecro is number 3 on the list of players that other pros repeated as being the best Deagle player.
Right.
Number 2 or 3? It's
number
like
3, I believe.
Nico's number 1.
Yep.
Oof. Yeah, we could see why. Lecro is just
Wrist.
so proficient with this gun.
I mean, man, there's grenades down on the bottom layer, too.
Yeah.
But these, you can tell they're pro... Oh, there we go. I was going to say, they start playing around with it. Oh, we got
Oh, here we go. Let's go, baby.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Oh, he doesn't know. Oh, but he's running now.
Dun. Now they know. Come on.
Let's give it a shot.
Hit him with the Juan.
A little psychological warfare going on. They're taking
Oh,
all
from
kinds
downtown?
of types of angles.
Oi.
Ugh, it's getting a little ugly both sides.
Shoot the wall. Or shoot him in the chest. Yeah.
They love him. This is a total we take those moment.
If you guys are fans of Boomich, if you guys aren't up to speed with Boomich and like the run he did with Quantum Bellator Fire at their first major showing, really, go back and watch the first time he walks into the stadium at that major and he sees there's a group of fans who have his names and signs, right? Did you know that he actually took that sign and he made it his next signature in the following major?
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah, they replaced the O's with hearts, and that's what it became. And now, I mean, he's embracing this. He's cracked the seal. The laughs are out and the headshot's in. It's just a wholesome player. And there was another clip recently with the blast backstage before this event started, where I believe it was Adam who asked Zeus, like, what kind of player are you looking for to replace you? And when Zeus said, definitely not an in-game leader, maybe a sniper, you just see this huge grin on Boomich's face, you know, like he has been legitimized by Zeus, a player I'm sure that like many men from the CIS region look up to in terms of CS. So again, wholesomeness, Mohan.
Yeah, until you play with Zeus, like you have no choice but to just like revere him for all the players that you know that have come up under him. There we go.
Boomich closing the gap.
Yeah, Boomich back into it. It's been a nice few shots from Lekro.
What's up next? Oh, just a straight up duel. No boxes can be blasted from this point.
It's 11 to 10 in total, of course. These Deeg fights have been way more drawn out. I mean, even that last round was pretty long.
Just wait until they shoot a wall enough to destroy it, and then it all
they'll
clicks.
see. Yeah, they'll see. You can take down all the cover on the map.
It's like monkey see, monkey do. And they just haven't seen it yet. Boomich ties this one up, 4 rounds apiece. I think the difference of rounds after the first one with the M4s was only 1. 7 to 6. Lekro with a zinger. How pumped do you think this crowd gets in front of Zeus when he picks up that mouse for the last time on stage?
How pumped? I mean, yeah, there's going to be a moment here with Zeus that people definitely want to stick around for, and I think super pumped. You can definitely tell, like it doesn't feel like the fans in the stadium are as transferable as I think people thought it was.
Right, yeah,
like to Avangars and to Forze. They should be.
Oh, it's CIS finals, but
yeah, when you have juggernauts like Zeus and Simple, they just have such enormous fan bases. It's
Navi or nothing.
At the same time, not surprising.
Ooh.
Oh, this would be good in the air.
Little flyby. Looks to hit him with the slapstick.
Oh, the awkward rematch.
Yo.
Oh, wait. Opa.
See you later. What are we all tied up? No, Lekro takes the lead with a zinger of a wall bang. Oh, close.
Yeah, a little bit of a meat shot. You dig?
Where's the big one, Mo? Where's the big one?
It's coming up right here. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
0.
I mean, we're talking about what's supposed to be the third best Deagler. And I wouldn't use the word crisp. Not quite yet.
Can you break the Twitch box?
Huh. Yep.
Yep, you can.
Now, if only Boomich knew that. And Lekro's hiding behind it for like 30 seconds. Never.
Okay, there it is. 7 points. So that's tied. That's tied. They're 12 to 12, unless it should be 13-12. I think there's a 1 point differential with Plopsky. So yeah, super tight race. Nothing lopsided. Always good at the beginning, of course, because you can make some of the later rounds less important.
Yes.
And we'll figure out who we got next up.
Boomich should be happy with himself. Lekro, not an easy opponent on his trusty hand cannon. I've gone ahead, Mohan, and started in terms of my Counter-Strike gameplay. I've foregone the Deagle. I've just come to the conclusion I'm not good enough to use it.
What, you're going to use the R8?
The P250.
Oh, okay.
Anytime I would buy a Deag, it's P250 Smoke Flash.
Okay.
And for the fellow noobs out there, do yourself a favor and just stop trying to Deag.
Yeah, people would probably win more games.
Oh,
okay.
Welcome.
There's a box kill.
To the game. Rez just shrugs it off. This is Rez versus Electronics. This is actually a fun matchup, I think, with AKs too.
Yeah.
Little nade play. So yeah, so Nip have that 2-round edge. It's like, listen, man, stop backseat gaming.
That was pretty good. That was pretty confident.
Got a little head rub.
I like what I'm seeing.
For good luck.
This is Nip's. We have a counter. This is Nip's second or third time playing the standoff.
Probably, yeah.
They've definitely played before. I think they may have played the one in Copenhagen last year.
Which wasn't the new map, though. Remember, this was
that's a good point. Yeah.
A recent addition. It's been a few events now. We've had the ultra custom blast map.
You know what I think they should do is they should have lives, but they have one person. They have like a total set of lives, and then they have like 5 lives per teammate. And so if you have one guy who just goes supernova, like Simple just kills everybody, he he can go and play the next person as well. And then you have to finally get through Simple to get to the next guy. And then you basically just, as soon as someone's out of lives, you're done. That would be like true to format, crew battle style.
Yeah, crew battles. That's
it. Duel, yeah. Wow, this is a wipeout. I thought Rez for sure win. Okay, well he at least gets that. That's something.
Gets a second one.
Yeah, Rez was laughing at first. He's not laughing anymore. Okay.
A smirk, a smile. Fresh breath of air. Breath of fresh air. They've got to duck and dive and weave. I remember it must have been 2 show matches ago now where Forrest, I believe it was Forrest or Fallen, it started with an F, who was just doing this, surfing around the map for what was like a solid 50 seconds. It was Fallen.
He gained enough speed to fly on top
over the wall.
Yeah.
And whoever he was facing off against was just running around the map trying to find him.
Yeah.
And you just get this glimpse of Fallen like over the wall and back down and around the building.
Oh wait, sorry, that was Forrest. That was Forrest.
Why'd you lie to me?
Fallen was the one who tried surfing.
Oh right, and then it fell off. But Rez is with a little resurgence. He's got that gap close to 2. So at this point, we're all Na'Vi actually have a 1 point edge. Out in no man's land.
Oh, that's 7 points right there. He's locked it up.
So now they find themselves back in it.
This would be one better than MIBR. MIBR didn't have a great showing against Sao Paulo, but then also lost the game.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, we got Zeus.
Here we go.
This is literally the last thing he's ever going to do professionally for money, right? I mean, he could technically just lie and come back from retirement, but officially,
this is it.
I think this is it.
Last kind of form of competition here. You know, it's tear-jerking, man. Because I'm no professional player, Launders, but I was, I came up with CS:GO as well. So I got to do the deep dive back and go look and see the history that is behind Zeus in all iterations of Counter-Strike. Like, this guy's been playing the game at a top level since before I even knew what Counter-Strike was.
Oh, and it's versus Get Right too. This is so iconic.
What a privilege for Get Right. And
Get Right doesn't let him win. He's not a bro.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right, loser of this has to retire. Get Right versus
Pink Slips.
Yeah. Oh, the serve. Trying to flex on him.
Oh, okay.
CZ, I forgot we had a CZ round.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What a little
that gremlin grin. Oh, damn. All right, Get Right's a little too nice right now. There's not a lot you can do about that one. PETA watching intently. We've trained our whole lives for this one, he says.
Yeah. Someone remind him he doesn't get a cut. Out of this 20K. Is it unlimited ammo? No. That makes things interesting, because remember, guys, that a knife kill will automatically give you the 7 rounds that you need. So Zeus could be down 6-0, get that slice and dice, and that's all she wrote. He's down to 2 bullets here.
He's going to make them count. Watch, 1, and then the second one's going to hit Get Right in his noggin.
Get Right's got what? Full mags?
No problem.
7 shots. Ooh, it's getting close, man. If we have a knife fight, give me the knife fight. It's down to the knife fight. Oh, here we go.
Oh, my God.
Zeus underneath Get Right. High ground going over to Get Right. Back into the spawn he'll go. Get your bets in. Get your bets in. Oh, this one for all the marbles. They've got flashbangs. Play the utility. Make it deep. Zeus down, and it's all she wrote. What a disappointing way to retire.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. We'll see. There's still chance here for a couple of points.
Of course. Get right to get. I'm done. Like, no, keep. No.
Oh wait, no. If you get a knife,
Knife. That's what I'm saying.
Oh
baby.
yeah, you actually do win the round. Oh my god, you win the yeah.
It's finished.
Oh jeez.
Zeus is like, would you like to play for fun?
Officially knifed in his last death in Counter-Strike. Technically, it's a name challenge, but yeah.
Listen to that maniacal laugh from Lekro.
Having too much fun. I'm telling you, they're just having too much fun.
Oh, now I feel bad, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it is just for fun, right? It is just a name challenge.
Yes.
I'm sure
Jokes
Zeus.
aside.
I'm sure Zeus isn't hurting for money.
No. Let him play the last round too.
Yeah, come on.
Simple's like, no, it's my turn.
Run it back.
Let me get vengeance. This reminds me of that picture where you see, what's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mentor?
Splinter?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not Splinter.
No, that's the bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. TMNT was before me.
Yeah.
Point being,
Call me old. All right, go ahead.
this is that classic image of like the new guns of the CIS squad kind of showing off their mentor.
Yeah.
This is it.
I know what meme
Simple's
you're
about
referring to.
enact
We've all
revenge.
seen the photo.
Yeah.
I remember Zeus told me a story once where I was at E-League, and he just got out of the airport, and he was like, yeah, I got to the airport, and I called the Uber, and when the Uber arrived, he opened the back door, and the lady screamed and drove away with the door open. He accidentally opened the door to the wrong car.
Oh my god. Someone's mom waiting for their kid to get in.
Yeah.
Hey there.
Zeus is actually hilarious.
Yeah.
So you guys need to watch his vlogs. I think they're translated, right?
I remember if you want to watch a good Zeus, bit of Zeus content, you go find Mark Winther's Twitter, right? Our DreamHack Masters man. And he has this video from, I think, like mid-2000s, like 2004, 2005, of him doing a tour of what was like the Navi boot camp at the time.
Yeah.
And contrast that video, seeing, Markelov, who must have weighed like 120 pounds at the time, as a little teenager,
Yeah.
Side by side with Zeus, who, we had an interview with him earlier, and he wasn't confident in his English, but go back to when he had, a vocabulary of 5 words.
Yeah.
And it's just such a throwback. And it's amazing to think, like, just how long he's been involved with the top of CIS.
Oh, off the lip.
Wah, 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 wah.
Off the building.
You got to give Forrest a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, go find that video. It was for HLTV at the time. Mark was working with them.
Oh man, now I just want to like reminisce on all the Zeus content out there.
The fact that he always rocks up in pajama pants.
Yeah. He has.
Anytime. Oh boy.
Oh wow.
That was simple going for a knife.
Yeah, I mean technically the best round to try it.
Yeah.
And it would just end the
Right?
round.
After the CZ, 24 bullets and whatnot.
Yeah. That's true. Oof.
Also remember, like, that knife secured 7 full points.
Yeah, full
so that's
points.
why we've got this huge difference. This was actually one of the closest standoffs we've seen yet.
Yeah.
Until Get Right ruined it for
He
everyone.
was about 2 centimeters off of getting that knife and like, just straight up winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's why he's going for it, because
Right.
if he risks it on
You gotta
every
close
single
that
round.
gap.
Yeah.
Or just straight up win, but maybe Simple's not confident in those op skills just yet.
Said no one ever.
Right. Jump across the walls. Blow out his cover. Ooh.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Time to rethink everything.
Yeah, pretty insane, right?
Yeah. Big words.
Considering you're just about to have a roster change, that's not new. I mean, it just goes to show, like in a tournament like this, even though it's a party, it's meant to be like a series of show matches between like really good teams.
Yeah.
It's still very important and still competition, right?
Of course. And I mean, you're talking about people who have dedicated their lives to competition. So these
Yeah,
are
no matter what it is, you
inherently
wanna win.
competitive people.
Yeah.
Like they
Anyone
what
who's
is
competitive
fun?
can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
I mean, I'm a competitive person, but I'm just not talented enough to do anything about it.
The struggle most of us face, yeah. They're still very much in this apparently, because he hasn't lost in like 4 rounds,
And if he closes the next two,
yeah.
26.
Then it's literally going to come.
And there are no ties in this format either.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh.
Simple has to be flawless.
Uh-oh.
Oh, nope. Oh, the box.
Oh, that would have been so sick.
That one's got you sweaty and a wallbang again. I mean, Forze is being given chances here. He's taken 2 shots each round for the last couple.
This is tense. I mean, time honestly might play a factor at a certain point. They've got a pretty good idea of where they are. Yeah,
I thought he was trying to serve.
Oh, he
box.
Oh, shots missed. Good bait. He doesn't want to wall bang that. Oh my God.
This is.
There it is. Is that all that was necessary?
Yeah, because now the gap can't be closed. So with it, Forrest takes the win. Nip are your standoff victors.
20 grand in the pocket.
But of course, as they are competitors, they will still finish out the rounds.
Yeah.
So good try by Simple, I have to say. I kind of wrote that off, assuming the knife was going to be the difference maker, but he almost went flawless.
On an individual level, he's winning this round.
Yeah,
so.
hands down. Give us a... Hey!
That's good. That's good stuff.
It's good. It's always fun to see these guys enjoy this. You know, I mean, that to me is
Surf DM is a thing.
Right. We've got stuff on the line here for the standoff, but I always, you know, again, they're competitors, right? But you got to see guys have fun.
Okay, here we go. So we might get the speed build up to the point that he can make an enormous. Or
it's that 7, and it's over. That's all she wrote.
Cool.
Nip, of course, still going to be picking up that cold hard cash, baby.
Not bad.
20,000 smackers. That'll get them home. You got to be happy considering like the difference between MIBR and Nip coming in 3rd is so minute, and yet now we've got Nip walking away with that little bit of extra cash. So you know, it was more worth it for them to come on over to Moscow. I'm sure they'd also like to be a part of Navi's last event.
Yeah, it's a tough showing, but
Zeus's last event.
Zeus's last
Navi will be back.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot more special planned for the show.
100%.
So make sure you do not go anywhere.
Yeah, and we're not just talking finals, right? Blast's always got something up its sleeve. So we're going to hand this one over to Adam. He will present the Blast Standoff champions with their check.
Pro Series. It had everything. Get Right versus Zoof, nice fights. It had everything. It was amazing. Shall I come down to those guys? Are they going to come around? Are they leaving? Don't leave. Come on this way. Come on this way, guys. Yeah, come this way. Come this way. Yeah, can you come in? This way. One more time. Make some noise for NIB! Come on this way, guys. Get Right leading the charge after that brilliant knife fight. I'm presenting that check to you there. Get Right, there we go. Gather around, fellas, gather around. Get Right, that was quite a... I want to come in the middle of you all. Oh, look at this. That was quite a standoff. You've done a few of them before. How was it for you guys? How was that knife fight with Zeus?
I was scared shit to do one-on-one knife there, to be honest, because I knew it's gonna be, if I win the knife, it's gonna be 7-0.
Yep.
But if I lose it, then it's gonna be 7 to them and 3 to us. So it was very important to win that one.
And it was very close there as well with Forrest and Simple at the end there. He was getting some points back.
Yeah.
Yeah. How has the experience been for you here in Moscow? Have you enjoyed performing in front of these fans?
I mean, we've been in Moscow a few times now, and every time we come here, we feel very welcome, and we're very happy to be here once again. And yeah.
Nice. What are you guys going to celebrate this evening? You're the standoff winners once more. How are you going to celebrate, man?
Vodka.
One more time, make some noise for your standoff winners, NIB! Well done, chaps. So much more coming your way. Our grand final here in Moscow is coming right up. Don't go anywhere. We're with you right after this. Welcome back to the Blast Pro Series Moscow! We have gone a little bit off-road here. We've gone a little bit off-road here, the Blast Pro Series. We'd like to take this moment to celebrate the amazing Na'Vi. Moscow, make some noise for Na'Vi! All right. And there's a reason that we're all standing up here. For a certain guy, a certain legend, that is Zeus, okay? Now, Zeus is going to share something with you guys very shortly, but before that, we're going to take a quick look at something which shares some other people's feelings about Zeus with him. Take a look at this.
Мой самый старый, самый древний тиммейт. Ты очень хорошо меня знаешь. Ровным счетом, как и я тебя.
He actually is a caring and actually lovable person.
I'm really sad that you're leaving the CS scene. You're a
legendary player. I have faced him the first time in 2011, and since then we had so many clashes. I think he has beaten me more than I beat him, but I have to make the count for that.
I've been following you ever since 1.6. I gotta admit that you're one of the few players that I've always looked up to.
He is one of the best leaders the game has ever had, and unfortunately, nothing lasts forever.
It was the important key of our team.
Congrats on amazing career.
Not just from the current CSGO community, for all the people who don't know you from back in the early days of 1.6, when I first got to compete against you in Moscow, I think in one of my first tournaments. Always been a pleasure, man. Always been a great competitor.
He's a very big leader, a big winner.
I've been battling against him since he came into the professional scene in a higher level since 2010.
He's the proof and definition that a player, good minds, has its place in Counter-Strike. He was able to lead the Ukrainian and Russian scene, the CIS scene overall, over legendary teams, and achieve so many things that most players will only dream of.
I'm really glad that I played with you in one team, and I'm really glad that we won the major together.
I mean, coming way back from the Arbalest when it's actually helping up with Na'Vi from basically from nothing, and then bringing up stars like Edward Markulov and all those guys to become like world champions over the night, you know.
И я рад за тебя. Я рад, что в твоей жизни начинаются перемены, которые на тебя влияют только положительно.
Few people will ever have the kind of success or the kind of longevity that you've had, and you should be proud of that.
Everyone from Brazil, everyone from IBR, just would like to say thank you, Zeus, for everything you have done for Counter-Strike, and we always admire you.
Today, Astralis is supporting Na'Vi, and I am especially supporting Na'Vi and Zeus, and I hope that you guys win the tournament.
Thanks everything that you teach to me.
I just want to say goodbye, good luck for retirement. We've had crazy memories, can't really talk about it right now. But you're always going to be one of the most emblematic in-game leader we ever had.
I know if you keep bringing that energy, you're going to keep being successful. So again, thank you on behalf of not just me, but also the CS community for everything you've done. It's not forgotten, man, and it's appreciated and respected.
I really do hope that you're going to enjoy your retirement because you deserve it a lot.
I know you're going to kill it, and I wanted to personally thank you for everything you've done. I mean, specifically for the CIS region, but Counter-Strike as a whole. You're a legend. You're always going to be a legend, so good luck.
My hat's off to you, my brother. Salute.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a god amongst us. He really is. Zeus, I know you want to share something with the world, perhaps in Russian and with the arena here as well. I hand the microphone to you, my friend. The stage is yours. What would you like to share? Go ahead.
Всем, ребята, не знаю, я посмотрел видео, немного разволновался, сдерживая слезы. Это были разные 20 лет, но вы всегда были рядом, вы поддерживали и любили искренне. И за это я вам безумно благодарен, друзья. Я могу сказать, что идите к своей цели, идите за своей мечтой и никогда не сдавайтесь. Я люблю вас. Спасибо большое. Ну, давайте. Я люблю мою команду, ребят. Я желаю вам удачи. Я хочу, чтобы вы побеждали. Ну, давайте. Вижу цель. Не вижу препятствий!
Give it up one more time for Zeus! Love this guy. Love this guy. On that note, folks, thank you, Zeus and Na'Vi. Just listen to the crowd here. Listen to the crowd. Have so much love for such a legend. We love you so much, Zeus. On that note, it is time, folks. We have a grand final coming your way here at the VTB Arena. There's only one thing we should do for this grand final to go with our beloved trophy. It's time to go gold. It's time for the grand final! Forze versus Avangars, joined by the teams here on stage. I'll come to you first, Jerry. 2 days ago, Blast backstage. We never thought we'd be here, and here we are at the grand final. First and foremost, how has the team enjoyed their experience so far being here at Blast Moscow?
We are pleasure. We are really pleasure. We like the huddle, we like the system, we like everything, so we're pleasure.
Everyone here loves you guys. Did you expect to get this far when first coming into this?
No, I never expect that, because if you don't predict, you will be ready for anything.
Now, we've got ourselves a big matchup against Avangars as well here. How are you guys feeling going into this matchup?
Yeah, we're confident and we like the Avangars playstyle, so it's gonna be a fun match and you guys should watch it.
They certainly will be watching. Won't you? Moscow, make some noise, come on! We got there in the end, we did. Come over to Dastan, Avangars. Guys, how's your experience been here? It's been a bumpy road, not a great start yesterday, but today has been a great day for you guys.
Yes, it was hard first day, but today I see all fans and we take a lot of energy today. And goal was make 3 wins. And thanks to this for support all people here. Thank you, Moscow.
Look at that. You know how to work the room, Dastan. I like that. Against Forze in this final as well. Going into this, are you going to change strategically or keep the same thing you've been doing before?
I don't know. I think we will change something. I think we will play our game. We played against them a lot. It will be a nice match, and I hope that fans today will be happy because it's CIS final.
Here we go. I'm going to ask as well, are we going to see some Jame time in this?
I think yes, all Twitch chat, hello Jame time, hello people here.
I think everyone wants to see some Jame time. Well, it's time for the picks and bans. We need to pick and ban maps for this grand final. Then we need 3 maps. In case it's a 1-1 draw, we have a third final map that we'll play to guarantee who's going to take home that trophy, okay? Now, Forze, as you guys came top of the group, we're going to ask whether or not you would like to start the pick and ban, or whether you want Avangars to start the pick and ban. What would you like to do, Jerry?
Avangars will start.
Avangars are going to start. So, Avangars, I'd like you guys to ban your first map. What would you like to ban?
It will be nuke.
Nuke is gone! There's no nuke. No one seems to mind that much. Okay, there's no nuke. Come over to you, Jerry. What would you like to ban?
Vertigo building.
Okay, you do what?
Vertigo building.
Okay. So what's the map that you're banning? Vertigo. No Vertigo. Nuke is gone. Vertigo is gone. Had to clarify, make sure. Okay. Now it's your turn to pick a map for this final.
We pick Overpass.
Overpass is map number 1! There are fans of this. We like Overpass. Jerry, what are you picking for map number 2?
Inferno.
Inferno is map number 2. So Overpass and Inferno. But we need to ban more maps to find our last third final map. What would you like to ban?
We ban Mirage.
Mirage is gone. There's no Mirage. There's no Mirage. Dust 2 and Train remain. What would you like to ban?
We ban Train.
Train is gone, which means we're left Dust 2. Yes, there we have it. We have our 3 maps and our grand final here at the Blast Pro Series Moscow. Russia, Moscow, are you ready for the grand final? I said, are you ready for the grand final? That's more like it. Gentlemen, go and get ready for the grand final. We cannot wait to see what happens. It's going to be an absolute beauty. For now, though, let's head over to the team. We can't wait to get this thing started.
That's right. That is right. That is right. One best-of-3 final to rule them all. We will be crowning a champion here in Moscow before it is all said and done with. We have our maps. We actually can even go back a little bit further and talk a little bit about Zeus. I feel like that was pretty good tribute. That was pretty good homage to what was a legacy career.
There's so many guys who have so much positive about this guy to say. I mean, he's been playing Counter-Strike for, what is it, 15, 16 years? He's been on a very top all those years, right? He's won a major with Gambit. He's done a lot of good work with Na'Vi. He's been on 1.6 Legend. Basically, this guy have achieved everything you could possibly achieve from this region in Counter-Strike, so he deserves it all.
He definitely does, and he's kind of the hero behind the scenes a lot of the times. The in-game leaders, they don't get all the glory within the servers all the time, but the impact and the value that they bring to these teams and these lineups is sometimes a secret hidden message in there, and Zeus absolutely deserves all the fame and glory that he's been getting.
They're not going to have the fame and glory of first place here in Moscow. That's just not how the tournament worked out for Na'Vi, but it did work out in a way, and we just heard on stage, this is a CIS final. That's something to rally around, and that is something that we're going to look into. Is Forze and Avangars are on the docket. We have our 3 maps. We know we're going to Overpass first, so why don't we just start the conversation there?
Yeah, I mean, nobody expected these 2 teams to be in the final. Roughly, they were the 2 teams who were supposed to qualify or play a qualifier match against each other, even to get into the tournament. So the fact that they've been able to play their way to the final and they've done it and they deserved it all the way is very impressive. Avangars today have looked like the best team without a doubt. Forze yesterday, they looked like the best team. So we have the 2 best playing teams obviously going up against each other in the final. Nobody expected it, and by looking at these maps as well, Christine, I think it could be a very close one.
Absolutely. I mean, thinking back on Overpass with James earlier yesterday, he was just popping off, and it's really going to come down to Forze's flashbangs and utility to push them off the forward positions at that party, at that bathroom divider area. He was getting free shots consistently on NIP side, so Forze, they really need to flash him off and do what they do best, which is group up and explode.
Isolate, contain, and then move in.
Yeah, I mean, a duel that we cannot talk enough about is that we have James going up against Exipower, 2 potential star players in each team. 2 AWP players that half a year ago nobody really expected too much from them. We knew James was a good player. Exipower we didn't really know because he wasn't really playing at a high level. Now he's coming into this tournament being maybe even better than James in the way he's performing. So 2 of the best CIS AWP players going up against each other in a grand final at an event nobody expected them to do well at. That's quite unique and that's quite interesting.
Would you say that there's a chance that this guy gets usurped by some of the players in the server today?
Yes, Race, there's definitely a chance.
I mean, yes, he is, you know, arguably the best in the world, but this is the up-and-coming generation of the CIS teams, right? And this is their chance to prove it. I think even Draken tweeted earlier, which, you know, I haven't seen that in a while, but Draken tweeted, he said, you know what, CIS, OP right now. And he's not wrong.
He's definitely not wrong at all. I mean, if you look at these players within the server, you can see their eagerness. They really want to get in the mix, get into the action, find where the enemies are, and eliminate them. I mean, sometimes when you're watching the top 10 teams, top 10 players, they're achieving perfect CS. They want to play that perfect round. They want to play that, get that perfect frag. And with a team like Forze, they're a little bit newer. They're a little bit younger. So you're going to see like some spicy movements, some flicks, and some really close battles between these 2 teams.
So just a heads up, pound for pound, just blow for blow, 2 teams duking it out. Because you've got to imagine these teams practice against each other, they play against each other. You got to think about the psychological warfare that comes in there too, because obviously when you scrim against somebody so long, start to get a hold of tendencies, and then when you play them in a match, they probably do something completely different.
See, this is something I thought I would never say about Avangars in a grand final, but they're actually the experienced team in this one, right?
Yeah.
They're facing a team, Forze, who, during the minor, they did well. That's when we first really, you know, it meant a lot to me to see how well they were playing. It was good. And then coming into the major, it was a bit, it wasn't really that good. It was okay, but kind of felt like they stagnated a little bit. Now, coming into this one, Forze have played hearts out. Power have been very, very good. Almasir is a guy we haven't talked a lot about. Flit as well. Potentially a tournament MVP for MVP for this one. I think there's so much potential on this lineup that you cannot neglect the fact that they've been playing their way all the way to the final, and now they're facing Avangars, who are supposed to be the experienced one. They have a major finalist as well in Adrian. All of them obviously are the major finalists as well, but the experience they have together on that lineup, going up against a team like Forze, it should be a good factor for them. It should be something they can use in a match like this.
It should benefit them rather than hurt them.
Sure.
Especially coming off of what I'll just say was probably a high of highs, being way up there in the major grand finals, right? So then you bring it down a tone, and you say, okay, you know what? We can do it. We can do it right here, and we can do it in Moscow.
Definitely, and I think Avangars do need to bring it down a tone. As I mentioned, a lot of these top 10 teams in the world, they're trying to achieve that perfect CS, and we're not going to see perfect CS out of Forze, but what we are going to see is scrappy, messy CS, and sometimes you do have to get messy. You got to get in there, and you got to make things happen. Right. And I think we're going to see two complete opposite approaches from both of these teams. I mean, we speak about Avangars, the meme, Jame time. They are very slow. They consistently run those defaults, and they consistently spread out, and it's very slow. On the Forze side of things, they also spread out, but they're always going to regroup in that mid-round. They're going to go as a pack together, and they're going to force those trades and get in those bomb sites.
Yeah, I definitely second that. I think it's two different approaches to the game. I have a feeling that both teams have some of the same tendencies, though, right?
Okay, tell me more.
No, but when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, then it is Power, it is Jame.
Right.
They rely on those two players in order to make the room for the rest of the guys. Whereas for Forze, for example, you have Almasir on the CT side. He's been good for two, which is a phrase that we often use when he's always good for 2 kills in a given scenario. I don't see the same happening on Avangars in the same situation. I feel Adrian is a guy who came into this lineup. Everyone expected him to be the star fragger. Everyone expected him to be the best player on the lineup. He hasn't been, but he's brought a lot of experience, and he's brought a lot of know-how on how to close out rounds and, you know, use that experience to your own benefit. So it's two teams who have a lot of similarities in a way, but also two teams who, in reality, the difference on the Avangars side is much more appealing than the experience on the Forze side.
Right, and rightfully so. You just look at the two names stacked against each other. We just had one in the major grand finals, which is, oddly enough, the reality that we live in. They've done it. Now they found themselves in the grand final again. I guess my question would be more centered around Adren and what he has for the team. Obviously, we talk about him being a Papa Bear. We talk about him being this leadership role. But I have a feeling, and I feel like they've talked about it before, that it's not just solely him. You know, they're making communicative decisions.
I would say so. I mean, I think he's the X factor. He's the X factor of this lineup, right? Because he has been statistically the worst performing player for Avangars throughout the major, throughout, you know, the entire stint of his period in Avangars. If he all of a sudden finds back to the level we saw him have before, then Avangars is not only a top 10 team, they're a team that potentially could challenge the top 5.
They definitely can, and I mean, we spoke about that value, the hidden value that sometimes these players bring to those teams, and Adren is absolutely one of those. Avangars, they were flirting with that top 15, top 20 era just 6 months ago, and then Adren joins the team, and all of a sudden, they're in the major final, and they're now here in the final at the Blast Pro Series. So there's absolutely some hidden value that Adren is bringing off the scoreboard.
Christine, you have a very pretty smile. What is making you smile right now?
What?
Okay, fair enough. No, I mean, there was a cam going on behind us, and I think we just missed the tail end of something really good. And that's when we heard the laughter earlier. Again, we are waiting to get into the game. We are waiting to get into the best of 3. That is the grand finals of Forze versus Avangars from the Moscow Blast Pro Series here. Guys, we've already seen everything we need to see. We've almost said everything we need to say. There's probably a little bit more you could squeeze out there. But the reality is this. We have an all-CIS final in Moscow. You couldn't have better conditions for a crowd.
No, we surely could not. And I think the crowd is loving it as well. It's been a while since we had a big tournament in the CS region. And I think the crowd that came up today have really been hitting it, right? They're loud, they're noisy, and they love it. So I think the final is going to be great in terms of the atmosphere. In terms of on the server as well, I think both these teams, as we said before, they have similarities. They play to the same level. We have Jame going up against Power. We have Almasir who's going up against Kickard and Buster, who are two players that we constantly give a lot of praise, but I don't think we really know how good they are. During the major, they were two of the main factors why they got all the way to the final. Same here for Forze. You have Almasir, you have Flit, a guy that we haven't talked about a lot either. He's potentially an MVP of this tournament. He's been playing hearts out as well, so they have a lot going for them, each these two teams, and a lot of confidence as well. And I think when you have two teams with a lot of confidence that are facing each other in a final where they know that this is probably the last final they're going to play against each other, but also the last final of the year, most realistically, this is the one chance they have of winning a tournament, so they're going to give it their all.
Okay, so how about we do this? We jump into Overpass first, but I want to know from you both, real quickly, who you have in the first map.
I got to go with Forze. I think Forze is... I think they're going to, if they're able, like as we mentioned, they're a younger team, they're a newer team, and playing at this level is very new for them. So in those sticky situations, in those 3v3s, when they're down numbers, these types of rounds are the rounds that they absolutely have to convert to give them an edge within the server. So as long as they're able to win those types of rounds, I absolutely have my money on Forze.
Okay. I would go the other way. I'd say Avangars is definitely my favorite, especially on a map like Overpass. We've seen them time and time again play that map very well. We saw it during the major. They could beat some of the best teams in the world. One that sticks out to my mind was when they beat Liquid on the map and really showed the world how good they were. Jame in particular, around the toilet area, as you were saying, constantly moving, constantly being even aggressive, which is not normally a term we use about James. So I think he's going to be the X Factor, and I think that's why Avangars is going to win the first map.
Well, we're going to take a look into that first map, but not before we jump into a break. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, one best of 3 to finish them all here at the Blast Pro Series Moscow 2019. Your grand finals await. It's Forze versus Avangars when we come back.
Welcome back to the Blast Pro Series Moscow final! Are you guys having a good day? We have a grand final coming your way. Our first map is Overpass, but Sava, we need to get the crowd excited, like crazy excited. Can you teach me some Russian to get them excited? What can I say?
Дайте шума!
Дайте шума! Dайте шума!
Very good.
Dайте шума, Forze!
Дайте шума, Avangars!
It works! We are ready for our very first map here at the grand final here in Moscow. Overpass is coming your way. Round 1 is right up next. Here we go.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is going to be a really interesting one. If you look at the statistics of these maps between these two squads, it's pretty much 50-50, almost straight down the line. There isn't much percentages between the two squads. In terms of head-to-head, Avangars have a slight advantage. I think they've got like 2 maps over Forze, but again, it's not really too far and away, so I think this one's wide open.
Completely agree. Two teams that know each other very well. We all know what happens in domestic matchups. Carnage, chaos, and things that you just can't possibly expect in any normal situation. So it should be really exciting.
Yeah.
You know, just failing everything else. And I think both of these teams have grown enormously in the last couple of months. I mean, for the same reason. I think both of these teams are going through the last major cycle. Of course, Avangars have a bit more experience at the top level, and of course, especially making it through to the major finals just very recently last week. They're going to be feeling pretty good, like they should win this. And there's actually that statistic that a team that wins the major, the first Blast event after the major, well, they didn't win the major, but they were finalists. Maybe it counts still, James. Maybe it counts that they will win the Blast event that follows. So Avangars definitely set up to do well, and I think there's a lot of eyes on them because you have a lot of these teams that come and go, James. They'll have this amazing performance on one event, maybe 2 events, but then they kind of disappear.
Yeah.
And you know, is it going to be a story like that for Avangars? Because if not, they should be winning this final.
Yeah, it was being called into question at the beginning of the tournament by the desk. Let me just rid myself of my objects. Looking at the stats, though, on Overpass, Forze with 13 maps, 46%. Avangars with 14 maps, 50%. To me, that's pretty much 50-50. But they're 67 and 61%. Forze with a slight advantage there on Inferno, both with 18 maps played. And then moving over to Dust 2, they're both at 56%, but Avangars have double the maps played. So, I don't know, man. I did think that I was hoping that Forze would qualify at the beginning because I thought they would be in a good position to upset a lot of teams here. And they've most certainly done that. Of course, a lot of teams that are at this tournament are in periods of transition, in-game leaders going out on multiple teams. New players have come in for this tournament. Some will come in later after this tournament. So a lot of teams are in a period of transition, but for Forze and Avangars, they're looking strong. Plenty of aggressive tweets towards Navi. You're not taking our coach, you're not taking our this and that. So I think this is going to be a really good final. There's been a lot said about James and his consistency. Petar from HLTV is saying that the MVP award is wide open for this one, and it probably comes down to this final. So there is a lot to be had in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I can't wait to see what Avangars have, just because they should be winning this. They should be extremely confident. I think making the run that they did at the major, sure they got blown out in the finals, but I feel like pretty much anyone that would happen to more or less any team except Liquid, perhaps, which we had that clash in the quarterfinals of the major. But they have to have this storyline in their heads now, where it's like, we are the team that should be winning all these events. Like, unless you have an Australis or a Liquid or one of these top 4 level teams, Avangars probably have that crazy narrative. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I am told that we have some slight delays, James. So
yeah, there'll be a short delay, so we're going to throw to a video called Behind Blast. So let's see what or who is behind Blast.
I don't think I've had to develop a personality. I think Counter-Strike is my personality. I mean, we're being watched. I want everyone to be careful. It's Microsoft.
The amount of jaw-dropping moments that we get in each and every game, you feel something very unique inside of the arena.
You can't really imagine that a video game online can draw that kind of emotion from so many people, but it actually can.
My name is Jason Moses O'Toole.
Chad Sponge Birchall.
Christine Potter-Chi, and I'm an analyst for Counter-Strike Go.
Yep. Game time? Yep. Cool. Right. Oh.
Wow. I don't do anything else. It's a little bit of a sad existence. I don't really prioritize time off.
Your notebook's looking really good to film right now.
Oh shit. Hold up, sorry, let me write something. Mint vid.
Very important.
Mint.
She's being recognised for her
Vid.
achievements.
Okay, you take notes, and then the camera zooms in, and we're playing Hangman.
My time off is when I go home and then try and play CS. So it's one of those weird things where I think you have to live and breathe Counter-Strike considering how busy our schedules are to get the most out of it.
I like how you make it seem like you're working with the cameras on.
I just make it seem like I'm working on them on the analyst desk too, so I'm pretty good at that.
The preparation I do for events is actually quite extensive now. I think before my hobby was and is to watch video games just on the side in my free time anyway, but a lot of the traveling that I've been doing lately, it's really tough to keep up with the games and the broadcasts.
I do enough events to where I don't have to like sit down and grind stats for hours, and you kind of pick up that knowledge as you go at casting at other events and everything like that. So I do so many events that my prep has kind of gone down, but you know, all the knowledge is somehow still there.
They let him slip away, and Astralis is always going to maximize on that. So we're going to have to do a break, and we'll be right back.
We did it.
Moses, how's that game for you?
It was awesome. It was all good up until the end when things got ugly, but that was a fun game to cast.
Esports as a whole, I don't really get into the other games. I just play Counter-Strike. When people ask me what I do for fun, it's play Counter-Strike.
I think it's the most beautiful esport we have out there in terms of how the mixture of strategy that goes into it on a team scale.
Counter-Strike at face value is the easiest game to understand. It's a 5v5 game with a very easy solution of who's winning and losing, right? But it's also very nuanced, the strategy of it, the little details, and that's the bit that I like, the fact that I get to express that to a viewer at home. And if I can make them understand a little bit that gets me excited about the game, then that's my goal at the end of the day.
So my journey into this position is kind of, I guess, pretty generic. I was a Counter-Strike player for a very long time, and I kind of naturally fell into it.
So I started out as a player once upon a time, a long time ago, and just kind of fell into this as a hobby, and it eventually turned into a career path.
An analyst can be anybody. I used to be a professional Counter-Strike player, and I take pride in that fact, the way that I talk about the game, the experiences that I have. When I went professional in like 2008, it was off the back of, you know, lots of hours playing until 2 o'clock in the morning during high school and then sleeping during economics and my family. Really not enjoying that fact. When I was a kid in high school, I wasn't the most popular, but Counter-Strike actually made me feel like myself.
Eventually you bring your parents to an event. And I don't think it ever clicks in until they come into an arena and see what it's like to actually be here and see how similar it is to going to, you know, a basketball game or a football game that they would have gone to with their family when they were children.
Right now, I'm kind of burnt out at the moment. Especially, I think, because in the beginning of the day, you're so hyped and like all your adrenaline's rushing and like my heart is pounding along with everyone else in the crowd. So then after a few hours, it really hits you.
My biggest issue is making sure my shirt stays ironed, and that seems to be a problem for some people.
I haven't been home for more than 2 days at a time for the past 3 months.
I think the longest period of time that I get off between now and Christmas is maybe 2 weeks.
As of late, I've been able to show my mom the broadcasts and the arenas. I think it really gives them a better idea of how much passion comes from the players, from the viewers, from the fans.
I consider myself a narcissistic, egotistical, selfish person. So for me to be involved in Counter-Strike all the time, that's what I want to do, and that's what I love.
I think it's very, very important that we have these events inside of arenas, inside of, you know, studios or wherever it is, because, you know, until then, you're just, you know, sitting at home on your computer, and it does kind of feel like a little bit like the stereotype. Once you start bringing it inside to arena, I think that's what changes it from, you know, just playing a video game to turning it into a competitive sport. And that's the biggest leap forward that you can take in esports.
We're ruining this video. I know. That's a sabotage. Yeah.
And we're back. Hello, hello, hello. The game will be shortly starting. Everybody's on the server now. Some machines needed to be switched out. I think we're going to have the group hug, the group huddle, the Jerry circle, or the Jerry curl if you like. Maybe that works. And then we will be into the game. It looks like, I don't know if the knife has happened yet, actually. I was going to say it looks like Forze is starting on the T side, but I don't know just yet. But we won't have long to find out.
The energy is looking really good for both sides, got to say. I think that Force are a team that I really didn't expect them to have the level that they have shown so far in this tournament. Because if you look at the opening games we saw, for example, they blew Ents out of the water 16-4. Almeza had like 150 ADR, just absolutely crushing them. Jerry's levels being great. Exit, pretty much everybody has been performing really well for Forze, and they have they have the game plan that they seem to be extremely confident in, and the way that they call is very decisive. They move well as a team. Like, you can't really ask for more than that. So that, you know, an upset win here would not be too surprising for me, I have to say, given what we've seen from them. But they should understand Avangars quite well as a team as well. They'll have experience with them, obviously, you know, from the same region. And how amazing is that, the All-CIS final here in Moscow?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good matchup. I think that we have a good idea as to what to expect from these two teams, considering they're both complete teams, or full teams, if you will.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good final.
I think
Definitely.
one of the points, the pivotal moments, or well, pivotal players, I should say, for me will likely be James, and he's always the talk of the town. You know, he's a dedicated All-Pro of Avangars. They set him up a lot. They always make sure they has him up as much as possible. So it seems like an obvious thing to say, but the reason why I say it is because of the disparity in which I think there will be between him and his level versus exit power. I think James is going to be more consistent and offer generally more damage than exit power. Now that could be something that could turn the tide, especially with a map like Overpass, a very AWP-centric map.
Yeah, I think I heard Frankie calling him Z-Power. So I'm guessing that's the pronunciation.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go with a Z-Power until told otherwise. I'm gonna believe in the Frankie.
No, I was gonna switch it up last minute on me like that.
Why the hell not? Forze are going to be starting on the CT side, wolfing down some sugary treats. And then we will finally be into this first game of this best-of-3 series. I think this is going to be a potential barn burner, but we don't have long to wait. The buys are coming in. It's game time, not Jame time, not just yet. Keycut has been dropped to P250 by Buster, who'll be running around naked. Adren's Grenade Man, 3 sets of Kevlar. We'll see if that P250 can get any work done. Buster looks to lurk towards B.
Absolutely. And we may see him consistently be doing this. Most teams will have one player that generally always be found around these positions. They can offer up a lurk, get some information, make plays. And Avangars are looking to move through the connector position now towards the bathroom. So this is a good way to start a pistol, just because you can get space very quickly. We'll burst together towards the divider. Can see power there. He will keep tabs on what's going on. He has the information which he can give to his team, and they're getting closer and closer now. If those numbers persist and manage to find their way to trades on the bomb side, that's going to be a problem for Forze.
Anything can happen in a pistol round. Jerry has himself a flashbang, but he may not be able to use it so well. Trying to block the smoke grenade, keep something open for his team. Z-Power takes Zanji out to start things off. Face Crack follows up as well, and he gets another one. So this one's falling to pieces for Avangars. Adren versus 3. The cavalry is coming in through the smoke, and Flips there to deliver the last kill. Full start on the right foot on the CT side.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried that Force are going to have it be really, really, really good, James. They just seem so good this tournament. I don't know. It's a small sample size, but either way, that's a good start for them. Of course, always nice to get that economy going straight away. Looks like we will have a pause coming in, but in the meantime,
nice.
See Face Crack with his first couple kills, really getting that defense going, and it makes such a big difference getting the first couple kills in that pistol round. And
we have a technical pause. There is a communication server issue, which will hopefully soon be resolved, and then hopefully smooth sailing from there. I'm not big on hope. I'm a realist, Dan, but I do feel like in most cases it'll be smooth sailing once this is resolved. Straight faces in the booth for now. Avangars will start 0-1. James got 2650 in the bank. Some might say he's been saving.
So Forze, I'm curious if they'll get aggressive, if they'll try to stick it to Avangars straight away, get in their heads in that way. That can be a really awesome part of playing very aggressively, because it has a big risk to it, because obviously you're opening yourself up to more situations where, when you're attacking into positions, so oftentimes you can find yourself maybe in not optimal angles, trying to bank on the element of surprise to kind of mitigate that worst angle you might be taking. But there is a benefit on the psychological game, because also you start imposing your will on the other team. Maybe you disrupt their default, you disrupt their timings. Maybe you actually hit your shots, and then all of a sudden you command immense respect every time there's a duel against you. So there is a lot to be said for an aggressive playstyle, and we've seen that from Forze so far against teams that you would say that they are underdogs against, for example.
Yeah. So since it's a technical pause, I feel like it's only fair that we continue the Edward Snowden saga. So following the nonsense yesterday, he slid into the DMs and said that he appreciated the invite to the finals. However, he has lots of interviews to do because his memoirs come out in a few days. So it gave him some warm memories, I quote. But yeah, he was unable to make it. I did ask him to send me a copy of his book to the hotel, but he doesn't even have a full copy himself, because they're all being printed in America.
When are your memoirs coming out?
I don't know. When are your memoirs coming out? You have plans for memoirs? What was that film where... Who's that guy who was Cyrus the Virus in Con Air? John Malkovich. There's a film where he's going on about his memoirs all the time. I think his wife hates him and throws him in the fire. Whatever film that is, that's quite a hilarious film. Someone out there knows it. The crowd's pretty hype, man.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's the thing. We have two CIS teams, so there's going to be a lot of support for both. I mean, Forze are predominantly a Russian team.
That is a
as well,
serious beard.
That is very well kept.
It's a mighty beard.
Yes.
Yeah, the crowd's been great. It's been a big crowd here in Moscow, or Moscow. I don't think I'll ever get used to saying Moscow. I'll try.
Moscow.
But I do not believe in myself. The food's been so good here, man. We went to Red Square yesterday. We saw the building with the...
A really big wall.
We saw a giant wall,
It's a really big wall over
Talk
there.
about build the wall. That was a big wall by the Kremlin. It was great, man. Wish we had more time in that area. All right, so microphones being tested. This is sometimes we've had the situation at a major where the game's about to start, you get everyone super hype, and then it's it's not, you don't even get one round, and it's a false start, and it's a reset. It's man, all that momentum and kind of.
Then you make the recovery, and you actually kind of manage to bring back that energy, and then you get trolled again.
Yeah.
The third one is difficult. That's a difficult one to because at that point everyone thinks you're a liar. So what do you do?
Yeah,
then?
you can't fatigue the crowd. You have to have certain timing, So it is a weird one.
It is indeed. Yeah, I think we had that at a major last year or something like that. I remember that happening. I think.
Almost always happens.
Yeah.
It didn't happen last time, but...
No, yeah, not the last time.
Yeah. So it's a microphone issue, as we have seen. The players are chatting on the server as well, mostly in a foreign language, but there's some English here and there. And they wait.
I wonder what because the microphone or voice comms issues are so prevalent. I wonder if there is some kind of... I mean, there's got to be an engineering solution for it, James.
It's not a server issue, so it's a device issue, it seems. So, speaking of device, I bought 10 souvenir boxes, or vouchers, if you will, for I think it's $250 each. And I got a black laminate AK with device's signature on, and 9 boxes of junk. So I'm not too sad about that. However, I've got the StatTrak AK. It's one ever use a black laminate, so I don't know what to do with it.
James, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What do you know in 2 sentences or less about Overpass?
Overpass.
Give me a summary of Overpass in 2 sentences.
Summary of Overpass in 2 sentences. Yeah. Okay, that's an interesting challenge. How about some of my favorite things?
Yeah, okay. I'll take it. I'll take it.
2-man setups focused on rifle support for an AWP, which we saw in different iterations of MIBR, and we continue to see on other teams as well. I mean, there's a comma in there, so it's still 1 sentence. Lots of grenades. Battles for map control. There's just mad commas going on. I might not even need the other sentence.
Yeah, I regret doing this.
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, well, Blast have a few things to say about Overpass. Let's check out their map.
Oh, was that was your attempt to throw? Bloody hell.
Get creative.
That is the worst. Okay, next time production, ask me to do it. Let's go to the video.
Oh God, there's no video.
Was this just your idea?
No,
you just make this up yourself.
I didn't make it up. Well, I made up something.
Can't get the staff. Well, the phones are out.
All right. Okay, let's do it. Attempt number 2, video. Yes.
Overpass is the newest map out of the 7 being played and was fully released into the Counter-Strike series in 2013. The defending CTs spawn onto the A site and will therefore take additional map control immediately in the middle area. The attacking Ts spawn closer to the B bomb site, giving them only a slight advantage. The CTs are easily pushed out of the A bomb site by a full-on rush attack, making grenades important for both sides for either a defense or a retake. The A bomb site offers early warning signs for the defending side, as the attacking team takes control of the bathrooms and A-long, which means backup can be called for quickly if the attacking side rushes in. Look for action around the bathrooms and the sewer area outside the B bomb site, as they allow easy access to each bomb site, but more importantly, the connector stairs between them allows fast rotates and fakes. Enjoy the match.
Excellent. I love those videos, James. Although it did say it was easy access to the B bomb site was through the sewers. And I don't know if anything is easy access through sewers. I've never tried it though. But
I haven't been in the sewer before.
Yeah, it would be a new thing for me.
I can imagine it smells of ammonia in there. Oh, and it looks like they're good to go. So the issue has been resolved and we're 13 seconds away from the second round. So a reminder, Forze won the pistol. We are in round number 2 of the first map of this best of 3 series. Avangars will be the aggressors, but it's eco time for them.
Yes. Avangars just with a flashbang on key cuts, a P250 or 2. And they will be looking for damage. That'll be the objective. Nice grenade there. That's beautiful timing. Take some chunks out of Sanji and Buster.
It's a pretty solid grenade for an anti-eco round when you know your opponent's not going to have Kevlar. Want to learn at home from the demo. If James doesn't do anything in this round, he'll have exactly the money for an AWP and no Kevlar in the next round.
Ooh, got to be careful. That's not a great range for the UMP there. Against a lot of pistols. As the push in, they'll try to finish him off. He's weak, but in comes Seek Power. And spray from the UMP, and the MP7 will do the job. I may as well make some money. Jane will have the full nays. I usually just expect Jane to always have an AWP on a buy round, even this early.
Yeah, but he could always take the AWP away from Forze if they are to be successful in this round of Vanguard. Let's see what their initial setup is. Nothing crazy coming out from Forze. The HE once again, but damage will be non-existent on this occasion. You can see there is a boost into the short B tunnel, and that's not the way to do it. Maybe a flashbang would have been good. They had players in position to flash as well, so a nasty problem for them. Team wound with the HE grenades. And more HEs, quite a lot going to that short B position. The plan was for 3, but 2 will do.
Yeah, interesting position here now for Avangars, because you get that 4v4, you've got over a minute to go. But they need to get some map control towards A, and there's already Adren who's working on that. He is lurking around the connector position, but he doesn't really have a safe way to check Divider. He's going to be firing a flash out, and that's going to allow him to get a peek in there and create some presence towards A, and his teammates can slow things down towards sewers. Meanwhile, this would be a good timing for an info play. If Forze need to get an info play, looks like they're going for it. Jerry's going to set it up, flashbang out, flip with a peek. Oh, there we go. He spots Sanji, so that's really important information.
Well, he's only seen one player, and he has not seen the bomb, so what good is that information? There's a lurker, at the very least, but it could have been an explosion behind it. They have no idea, and it seems that Avangars are positioning themselves to make a play through the monster position. It might be a dry one. Buster with a Molotov towards the barrels No one pushing short B at the moment. Adren is there, slowly moving forward. Very careful attack from Avangard. 20 seconds, and they've got 2 players on half of the site. But here's the rotation from Forze. Jerry swinging with the MP9. Nothing doing just yet.
Yeah, so the bomb will be going down. Jane gets the plants. It takes down Buster, though. Re-smoke to make things a bit more difficult for the CTs. And this will be an interesting one now, as the AWP has been posted up. Z-Power's been here for a while, looking for the cross, but Avangard know better than to try to cross that angle. Almeza sneaks down, so some position gain forwards. They'll hear him. He's going to start running now. That UMP, that's not a good challenge for him, unfortunately, with the UMP. Flick goes out. He's got a better weapon, more suited for a peak like that, but the double face will be the end of him. So Z-Power's all he can do to save this AWP. James on the hunt. He wants to collect that AWP.
Yeah,
he said, James, he's hungry for it.
We'll see if he makes able to make it in time. Once the bomb explodes, it covers your footsteps for a few seconds. So you can chase, but there'll be no further chase, it seems. The AWP will be taken into the next round for Forze. An AWP and a bunch of USPs at the moment. The money's not great, but they can buy some rifles, probably with some SMGs to go with. An early first round for Avangard. And now it is time for them to try to put Forze on eco.
This is going to be the mission. Z-Power on that AWP could have something to say about it. He's really an important player in this round, but the problem is, well, it's going to be hard to activate him. He's playing towards the long, so it's actually a very conservative setup for Forze. Focusing towards the B position, looking for a play around short, actually. Jerry and Face Crack taking a look. I think they've... Okay, did that?
They're going to boost towards the entrance to, well, the stairs, I think.
Yeah.
I get that impression, but they're going for a double peek at the moment on the sandbags, but they do have 3 players in roughly the same area, so they could have opted for that.
It would be good as well on this spot.
Yeah, maybe they go for it later. The entire Avangard squad is here. Would have been a lot of information, maybe a trade kill though, and perhaps that's not too favorable for them. A pop flash this time, and Buster makes his way towards a short B position. Where is the AWP? That's a giant question that's just been answered. Sanji went through Monster, first one to fall as he often is. The cover is there. Look at the lineup. Absolute brutality, and there'll be no kills apart from Jerry getting taken out. That was a big opportunity for Avangard, and they just were not ready for that setup.
Yeah, that was a cool setup. I'm struggling to think when I last saw a team actually run that setup. And Flit waiting close for the UMP, it feels like you couldn't really have had the weapons positioned better. And as you say, James, you know, an option is to go for that stack, so you can see players going for the attack that we saw Avangard going for, but didn't seem to matter. The pinch was dealt with effectively by Forze, and that's an important one. But more importantly now, James on the AWP. However, Avangard don't have much utility to open up the map, so it's going to be a slow round, I feel like. And, you know, whilst James tries to get that pick.
Yeah, Keycut with one of the 2 AK-47s, just keeping an eye on short B for the time being. Doing a good job of avoiding the fire, the HE's Molotovs in that short B position. Sanji, I'm the leader of the Sanji fan club. This guy always has SMGs, or the worst weapons. It's very interesting the role he has on Avangard. When I've eventually got some time, I'll be watching his demos, but Avangard have managed to creep forward into Monster, maybe spotting a leak here. Only been good for 1 round so far, but who knows? We've got flashes over the top, and the CTs wait.
Z-Power there, ready. Indeed, Jerry below, Face Crack there as well. Everyone's here, that's fantastic. Great little burst from Face Crack to take down Buster. The trade's in, but the damage has been done. The flick missing there from Z-Power, but that could be a great nade. Indeed, it takes down Kika, finishes him off. Z-Power tagged down to 3.